So draw a horizon line a little closer to the top, not all the way to the top. And that's because I want to have more space down here to actually draw. So I have my horizon line.
Dotting the line.
The dot. And what is that dot called?
Vanishing point.
Thank you. So I need a vanishing point. And I can put it anywhere on this horizon line depending on the angle I want my drawing to be. But I'm just going to put it in the center. And again, I'm going to draw mine kind of big. And that's so you can see it. You can just draw a small little dot. But you have to draw the dot. If you don't have a dot, then you don't know where to go. Or sorry, squares of some sort or a rectangle. And remember, down here at the bottom, I have a see-through ruler, so I can just use it at any point. I want to make sure that my line is perfectly straight when I draw my vertical lines. So I'm going to make sure that it's lined up to the bottom of my paper, because my bottom of my paper is always straight. If you don't have a see-through ruler or using a straight edge, use the bottom of ruler right here to create that straight edge, that straight vertical line or that straight horizontal line. I'm going to do the same thing. So now I have a nice, perfectly straight box, and I want you to make 3 of these. Starting shape or the front view is also okay. Put them in the same place. So I have one on the right hand side of the vanishing point, one almost directly below the vanishing point, and one over here on the left. We're going to make these into 3D boxes, and then we're going to turn those 3D boxes into an object. Okay, this is the easiest way to actually learn how to create in perspective. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to line up to the vanishing point and each corner of my square. Now I can draw the line all the way to the vanishing point and then erase it, but I'm using pen, so I'm just going to stop with however long I want that box to be. So again, the next corner, and then the bottom corner. Now I don't want this to be a see-through box, so I'm not going to do this corner. So do not draw O line with this. These are the orthogonal lines if a solid 3D shape. So this is solid, you don't want to draw this line because it's going to go through your front view. All right, now the trick again to make a nice perfectly straight vertical line in the back, because that's what I have in the front, is I'm going to line up my ruler and I'm just going to slide it back, and I'm going to just draw a line so it matches. It doesn't matter that these are longer, because if I had a pencil I would just erase them. Now my vertical line touches my horizontal line in the front, so it needs to do the same in the back. So I'm going to slide it back, and then I'm going to draw my line. Okay, so now I have a 3D box. Now this one's a little tricky. If I line up my corner to the vanishing point, I can kind of see a little space right here, a little bit of a space right there. So if I draw my line, it's going to be a tiny, tiny bit of that side of the box. If my vanishing point is directly above it, I would not draw that line. I would only see the top and the front of that box. Okay, so now I need a vertical line in the back, and then a horizontal line in the back. And again, don't connect this line to this line, right? Because that would make it crooked. It would make it like this. See the difference? This would be a crooked line or a kicked out line, and this is a straight horizontal line, okay? An angled line in front, I want to have an angled line in back. If I have a horizontal line in the front, I need to have a horizontal line in the back, okay? Okay, so there are my 3D boxes with my front view, my orthogonal lines showing depth, right? So the orthogonal lines show depth, and that's what creates the 3D-ness, okay? So this first one, I'm going to make an open box. Okay, so I'm actually going to make it look like a cardboard box. So the first thing I need to do is open up the top. So I'm going to go to this back corner and I'm going to draw a vertical line straight down where it touches the first horizontal line. Now, if this box was shorter, okay, I would probably be able to see the bottom. And how I need to know if I can see the bottom is I'm going to line up my vanishing point to my ruler in the bottom corner. Okay. If I was to draw this line, where those two lines would connect, it would be the bottom. But because it's below this horizontal line, you can't see it, so I'm not going to draw it. Okay. So now I'm going to make it look like it has flaps, like a box. This is the only time I'm going to make up an angle. It does not go to the vanishing point, is when I draw the left-hand side flap. So I'm going to draw an angled line. And again, I want it to be the exact same angle in the back. So I'm going to line up my ruler again and slide it back to that back corner. And then draw my line again. Now with the front angled line, I'm going to line that up to the vanishing point. And then I'm going to draw that line. So now I have what looks like a flap. Okay, and if I had drawn in pencil, I would erase this line right just there. All right, I'm going to do the exact same thing on the opposite side, but I'm going to angle this flap in the opposite direction. Draw two identical angles, and then the front one goes to the vanishing point, and it stops when I reach the other angle. Okay, and so here's my other flap. Closer to the vanishing point, they get smaller. So I'm actually going to angle it and angle this one this direction because it's closer to us, so it's going to look bigger. And then I want a nice horizontal line. And I need to finish that. So now I have this nice horizontal line. One on the right hand side, it's a little tall, so I'm actually going to turn it into a bench. All right, I'm going to draw it so it's sitting this way. I need the back part where you sit against. So I'm going to draw a little vertical line. So I'm creating the front view right now of my bench, and then I need a horizontal line for this is where you would sit. Now, a lot of you are going to want to like not use the ruler sometimes. Always use the ruler because, you know, I can't even draw a nice straight line without a ruler. Now I have a new front view, which looks like a backwards L. And I want each corner, this is a corner, this is a corner, and this is a corner. So again, here, here, and here, to angle to the vanishing point. So I'm going to start with the bottom one. I'm going to angle that to the vanishing point, and I'm going to stop when I reach the end of my box.
I'm going to go to the next corner. And again, I'm going to kind of stop where I think the end of the box will be. And then I'm going to go to the last corner, just the top of the back part of the bench.
And then I'm going to stop. Okay? Now, where that green, the orthogonal green line touches the horizontal line in the back, I'm going to draw a straight line down. Where this green line touches this black line, I'm going to line up my ruler. And I'm going to draw my line straight down until I touch the other green line in the back. Okay, so now can you kind of see the back of that bench? And then where those two green lines connect, and they make a new line, I'm going to draw a line straight across. Now it should match up to this. If I did it correctly, I'm a little off. Now it's a pretty plain bench. It looks like just a cutout. I can create legs. So I'm going to draw some vertical lines for depth, for height, sorry. And I'm going to draw a line straight back to connect them to the vanishing point. Okay, I'm going to draw a horizontal line here. So now I have a little leg. I'm going to do the same thing in the front. And then this area here is going to show depth. So I'm going to angle that to the vanishing point. And now I have a second leg and a third leg. This is also a leg. Now, if I want like have a cutout here, because you know it's a bench, usually they have like a weird cutout. I'm going to draw a vertical line there, vertical line here. I'm going to angle it to the vanishing point. Now it doesn't really look like a cutout yet, so I need to draw in the depth. See how there's depth here? I need to have depth back here as well. So I'm going to draw a horizontal line, a vertical line. Okay, so I did the exact same thing as I'm doing here, but just up here. But now I need another orthogonal line that goes from that corner back. Otherwise it's going to look like it's just floating in air. There's my bench. If I want this to be a table, I'm going to make it have a rounded top, because round things are really hard in perspective. And you are welcome to try them if you want to, but I suggest you stay away from them, okay? Just because they are a little harder. So what I'm going to do when you want to draw something rounded in perspective, you need to curve the edges. So I'm just going to curve the back edge. This is still going to be kind of, but I'm still going to follow the horizontal lines and the orthogonal lines. But now I'm curving the edges. So I'm cutting off the corners. Okay, so now I have a curved top. Okay, and I want to have some thickness to the table. So I'm going to draw right where the curve starts to bend back down. I'm going to draw a small vertical line down, and then I would draw the same thing here. It's already there. Now I'm not going to draw a straight line here because that's not going to match. I need to match this curve. So I'm going to curve this out, and now I have a curved front line. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing in the back. I'm going to draw a straight little line down. It's not going to be very thick. And then this needs to angle to the vanishing point, but I don't want it to be super straight. So I'm just going to line up my ruler and draw it slightly underneath it. This is a rounded table, so I'm actually going to draw a center leg. And how I find that center leg is I'm going to draw the bottom of this box. So I'm going to go to that back corner. Okay, and now I need to find the center of this. And how to find the center of a square is I'm going to draw the corner to corner and this corner to corner. And where you made that X, this is my center. Okay, so this is where I want to make sure I draw my line up for my table. Okay, now that does not look like a thick enough leg, obviously, so I'm going to make it a little bit thicker. Like a thick leg in the middle. Okay, and sometimes there's like those legs that go like this. Goes like this. You know, fancy foot leg here. We do the same thing here. Okay, so these are on the same plane. One's not longer than the other, and then these two need to angle to the vanishing point, and this can't be way out here longer. Okay, if I wanted it to be a regular, like a square table, I would do the same thing as I did here, but instead of this being down here, I would just move it to the top. So this would be the top of the table, and then these legs would just be longer.